Welcome back, everyone. Former Vice President Mike Pence has a new book out called What Conservatives Believe. It's a look at his vision for the future of the Republican Party. And Mike Pence joins us live now. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Marissa. Good to be with you.
Well, we're going to talk about your book in just a minute here, but first we want to touch on some big topics in the news right now. We know you've been outspoken against the so-called Anti-Weaponization Fund, at one point calling it actually deeply offensive. Last night we learned the president is now backing off after an outpouring of criticism. Why do you think he made that decision? Well,
I certainly welcome word that the White House has made a decision to drop the so-called weaponization fund. I think it was very offensive to millions of Americans that we could have a fund in Washington, D.C. that would ever give taxpayer money to people who assaulted police officers or vandalized our Capitol on January 6th. Look, the Department of Justice has the ability to settle cases where people's rights have been trampled, but I'm grateful to hear that the administration has thought better of it and has set that proposal aside.
Yeah, let's touch on the Iran war now, because you've said that the war was nearly 50 years in the making. Now seeing its impact on Americans here at home, do you still support that perspective?
I do. I think there's no question that the mullahs in Iran have been at war with the United States and Israel for 47 years and claimed literally thousands of American lives, whether it be from the Marine Corps barracks bombing 47 years ago or during the Iraq War. And I give President Trump all the credit in the world for taking the fight last year and this year directly to Iran as the leading state sponsor of terrorism in the world. I think our armed forces have responded brilliantly in the 1 month of hostilities and enforcing the blockade that's in place. But look, I don't gainsay the impact that it's having. High gas prices in my home of Indiana or in Chicago are impacting families and businesses. But I really do believe that, you know, at the end of the day, if the Iranians don't come to the table, the best thing for the American people in the near term and the long term is to let our armed forces finish the job, open the strait on our terms, and end the threat that Iran has posed to the United States, Israel, and our allies across the region once and for all.
Yeah, we'll be watching very closely, of course. Now, we know you as vice president, but of course, you're also governor of Indiana. We are closely watching the Bears Stadium battle, so we want to know, what are your thoughts on the Chicago Bears possibly moving to the Hoosier State?
Well, I would tell you, I grew up a Bears fan, at least up until the time the Indianapolis Colts arrived at the Hoosier Dome so many years ago. It's a great franchise, and they would certainly be welcome in the Hoosier State. But you know, I'm going to let the folks on both sides of our border sort that one out.
We hear that. We'll be following that very closely as well. Okay, let's talk about your book, Vice President, What Conservatives Believe. How has that changed in light of the Trump administration? And does the current conservative government reflect what conservatives actually believe?
Well, Marissa, I like how you asked that question, because I actually don't think what conservatives believe has changed. But the policies that get described as conservative these days have changed in some respects. Look, from the Reagan years through the Trump-Pence years, the Republican Party was defined by a commitment to a strong defense, to fiscal responsibility, limited government, freedom, free markets, and traditional values. And the new Trump administration has gotten a lot right, securing the border, extending the tax cuts, standing with Israel, standing up to Iran. But as I write in my book, there's many examples where now this new force of the populist right has been embraced by the Trump administration in broad-based tariffs on friend and foe alike, price controls, big government solutions, nationalization of businesses. Add to that the stops and starts on support for our ally Ukraine also reflect kind of the isolationism of the populist right. And of course, marginalizing our commitment to the right to life has also been deeply concerning to many pro-lifers across the country, me included. So I wrote this book so that people would understand that while our battle will continue politically against the progressive left, which has become more and more extreme, even embracing socialism, that there's a new threat to the conservative traditions in the Republican Party from the populist right. And I hope the book will ignite a great debate in these midterm elections and in 2028 about what conservatives believe and how we can continue to lead the nation on the basis of these principles of freedom and prosperity.
Well, if you'd like to learn more, you at home can read more of what conservatives believe with your own copy. You can find it online and in bookstores. Thank you again, Vice President Pence, for joining us right here on the show. Good to see you.